evening, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to another series on Let's Get Loud. If this is your first time joining us, I want to say welcome and thank you for being here. And to our repeat guests, I just want to say I value you and I value your time. This evening, we have a new series, one that you'll be blessed and inspired by. It's the story of one woman whose dream as a little girl was to make women beautiful. And that for her meant she wanted to be a hairdresser, much to the disapproval of her mother, who wanted her to be a doctor. The price for her dream was costly. The first was the disapproval from her mother. The second, leaving her home in Jamaica and relocating to the Cayman Islands. And relocating came at a really costly price. The price of abuse, the price of raising her son all by herself, and the price of divorce, and of course, finding love again. But that love came with a great price, the price that believed in her and believed in her dream. Ladies and gentlemen, this woman paid the biggest price of all, the price of believing in herself and believing in her dream. Ladies and gentlemen, this woman has a brand and it's called Truly Yours. Help me welcome to Let's Get Loud, Mona Lisa Morganberry Kadruski. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Mona Lisa. Mona, join me. Yes, join me. Thank you so much, Mona. Thank you for being a part of Let's Get Loud and agreeing to share your story.
Sure, the pleasure is mine,
Oh,
Ingrid.
I love it. I
I'm
love it.
glad to have you here with me as well
Thank you.
today.
Thank you. We're in her shop, the den, the hair den.
By Mona Lisa.
By Mona Lisa, of
Herself.
course.
Thank
And I can tell you,
you.
this place is a haven for those who are looking to enhance their beauty like she did for me. What do you think? She did all of this, right? She did all of this. And Mona, I just want to say that I am truly grateful to have you on Let's Get Loud, to share your story with us.
Sure.
A story of a dream that cost a lot. It cost you a lot.
Sure.
And that dream started in Jamaica as a little girl. Do you want to take us back to Jamaica and life in Jamaica and how that dream came about?
Well, Ingrid, for me, as a little girl
Mm.
back in Jamaica,
Yes.
first and foremost, my mom
Uh-huh.
is a pastor.
Mm.
Well, of course, she passed away
Yeah.
like 4 years ago, but of
Mhm.
course, I raised up in a Christian home,
Yeah.
and I have 5 siblings
Mm.
and myself.
Okay. All girls?
All girls, no boy.
No wonder you wanted to be a hairdresser.
Yeah, I was always playing with all my sisters'
Mm.
hair, you know.
Yeah.
In school, the
Mhm.
teacher would ask me, "Can you braid this one hair for dance theater company
Wow.
back then?"
Mm.
So this was something that I really liked.
Okay.
But of course, my mom
Mm.
did not.
Mm.
And for us as Caribbean women,
Right.
our parents tend to not liking what we chose to do
Yes.
for professional life.
I know that all
Yes.
too well, yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yes.
So then, how is it when with mom, she didn't want you to become a hairdresser, but you wanted to become a hairdresser? How did you get out of that? I don't want to call it rejection, but disapproval to really pushing yourself to do what you wanted to do? What made you believe in yourself that you could be the best hairdresser?
Well, the thing is, this, Ingrid, for me personally, is
Mm.
that you can see I'm very tall. First
A
and
model
foremost.
look.
Yes, I used to do bit modeling back in
Right.
my older days
Or younger days?
or younger days. I don't know, because I passed that level,
Right.
you know, of aging
Yeah.
gracefully. I must say,
Gracefully.
I must add. But anyway, for me, being a 5'9"
Wow.
from a young age, I didn't like myself. First and foremost, yes, I did not.
Why?
Because for a woman to be so tall is
Mhm.
10. Back then, we say bullying now,
Yes.
but people dare you, you know, call you out names, long lala, long legs,
And how
all
did
these
that make you
things.
really
Yeah,
feel?
so I didn't like myself. But Mr. Dunkley, I think I did mention him.
Okay.
He was a Spanish teacher,
Ah.
taught Spanish back then.
Mm.
And he said, girl, you're so beautiful. You need to
Wow.
start walking upright and like yourself, which I tend to do.
Right.
And then once I find myself walking upright and not slouching over, then I start to gravitate to myself. I would do my hair, wear lipstick. And
You
my
you
mom,
got to wear lipstick?
I would do it. Yes, I would have that
Good
Ingrid.
God. So
The Ingrid.
mommy didn't read you out to church?
Not at all. Not at all. Because I would have the lipstick in my handbag, so I'll put it on. But when I'm coming back
Bless
home,
the Lord, bless the Lord.
yes, when I'm coming home, I'll make sure that is all wiped out. So of course I used to do all these little things. My mom would comb our hair, and what we'd do, I'm gonna give you this joke, would use the iron, the clothes iron, and press the top of our hair.
Mona,
Yes, yes,
that's electric
yes,
iron.
yes.
Okay.
And I would rub the top of the hair for it to be shiny and pretty. So all that again derived from me wanting to be a hairdresser. So my mom didn't like that at all. She always said, "No, hairdresser, you're not going to be a hairdresser. I want you to be a doctor. We want you to be a doctor." That was never in my mind,
Right.
That
I wonder
wasn't.
why mom wanted you to be a doctor though.
I have no idea. Well, to me, I think all girls, parents want to see their kids have high professional paying job. She thinks as a hairdresser, it was beneath,
Yeah.
And then being a pastor's daughter, the church didn't approve of that anyway. She cannot
All
be on
natural hair,
right, and she cannot be on the pulpit preaching the gospel, and then her house is a sinner. So I always say, a preacher's daughter, but
Let me cover up good. Let me cover up good, Mom. Let me cover up good because I don't want to be sinning right now.
Yeah. So I always just wanted to make other people beautiful, and when I look beautiful, then I'm giving back because I want each person to feel good about themselves.
So Mr. Dunkley, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Dunkley, your Spanish teacher. There's always a teacher. There's always somebody who's assigned to you to pull out that dream out of you. And Mr. Dunkley is one for many people who just get you to be the person
that I am today.
Wow.
Yeah. I always remember him. Always.
So then, what did you do in Jamaica? Did you do anything in Jamaica to go towards your dream? I know you finished high school, but after high school?
I came to before I actually graduated from high school, my best friend, there were two. Jasmine, she was from not Bahamas, Bermuda.
Bermuda.
Yes, and my other girlfriend, Faith, we call her Faith, she used to live in the Cayman Islands.
Okay.
So of course, holiday, said, okay, I'm going to come to your house in Cayman Islands. And back then in Jamaica, we could not get the opportunity to have a visa, US visa. It was really hard for you to get a visa back in the old days. So the next best place is the Caribbean islands. And Cayman was very close to the Cayman Islands. And as we all know,
I think we were a part of.
But yes, Jamaica was a part of Cayman. And of course, we had the embargo with Cuba, with Jamaica, and the US. And back then, you couldn't travel freely.
Right.
So I said to my girlfriend, I would like to come to your country and see what it's like. And the accent that she had, I wanted to. Oh,
You think, where was she from? West Bay or what?
No. She was from Georgetown. Georgetown, but she had relative in West Bay.
Okay.
She's now migrated then, several years later, to the UK. However, I was 16 and I came and I said, wow, I like this place.
Really?
It wasn't as developed as Jamaica, but she's my best friend and, I came and I liked it. And, once I finished school, I'm going to be coming back to the Cayman.
So what did mommy think about you coming?
Well, tell you something, which, if my mom knew what I did,
we would not.
What happened back then, you didn't have to have a passport.
Right.
In the first stage, so the ticket was $69. So I would demand
How did you get the $69?
Well, I like to work. I'm always a working person. I never like to sit down and depend on anyone.
Okay.
So I would work my holiday jobs and I would hide
What
the money.
did you do here?
No, not at all. Not then, no. But I did my little holiday job, got my money, and I would hide it under the mat. under the mattress, wherever I could hide it. And every so often I would go and I would count it
Money
to make
Lisa.
it Money Lisa. That is why that name stick on me, Money Lisa. So anyway, I would take that money and we found out how much the ticket was and I purchased the ticket. But of course, I had to leave my home
Right.
to come, and how the hell am I going to make
Okay,
it
let's
to
hear
Cayman?
it. Let's hear it. How did you do that?
So what I did, kids, do not follow me,
Okay,
okay?
listen closely. Do not follow.
Right? My time was different from your time now. However, I forged my mom's signature. Yes, to get permission to travel. So the JP, I had to give it to the JP, the Justice of the Peace,
Right.
to have an approval because I was 16, I wasn't 18.
Okay.
So I told her, my girlfriend is going home. She didn't know where it's Cayman
Right.
or anything. I just say I'm gonna spend some time with my girlfriend for a week in the Cayman Islands, and I say just right next door.
Right.
Like from Kingston,
To-
Montego Bay,
Right.
and I just tell her whatever I wanted
Right.
to tell her.
Actually, I think it's closer than Kingston to Montego.
Exactly. But anyway, she said, okay, since you're gonna go and an adult is
Right.
a part of it, it's okay.
Okay.
And she said, all right, no problem. And
But you didn't tell her you forged her signature.
No, not at all. She just thought that I was just maybe taking a bus. I don't know. She didn't even question
She
it.
didn't question it.
I just said I'm going to the Cayman Islands, because remember we have the right at the airport we have that small island.
Oh, okay. So she probably thought that was the Cayman
exactly.
Islands.
She didn't even know where the Cayman Islands is, but she just said, okay, it's close by, if anything, and that's one of the many reasons I wouldn't be able to have gone to Bermuda
Right.
because it was
That's
further.
far.
Yeah,
That's far.
So
So when you went back home then after visiting the Cayman Islands, what inspiration or what drive did you have to say, you know what, let me finish school and let me go back?
the thing is this, Ingrid, for me, when I came to Cayman, and of course, as a young girl, you get the chance to travel on a plane.
By the way, how was that? How was the experience?
Back then it wasn't Cayman Airways.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was here Jamaica.
Oh,
Yes, Cayman Airways. It wasn't Cayman Airways. It was here
Air
Jamaica. And tell you something, when you took Cayman Airways, here Jamaica to come to Cayman, you had to be careful back then because the immigration,
Okay.
they would send you right back sometime on the same flight.
Why?
If you don't have enough money to support, or you have someone sponsor you actually to receive you at the, at the airport.
You
My
had-
girlfriend, because we
Right,
came together, so
together.
we didn't have a
Yes,
problem.
yes.
Yes, and then when I finished school and to come back, we had to have $100 US, which is only equivalent to $48 US dollars for the Cayman Islands
Right.
to use as your spending money.
Okay.
Because again, was the embargo in place, so you could not. The IMF had
Oh,
all this
yes,
money
right,
holding.
okay.
Yes, so we had big issues
To
back
get
then.
100 US. How did Mama get 100 US dollars?
Of course, I was always working. So with that said, I make sure I save that because I knew that I want to leave Jamaica. I saw what was happening with the government and the country, the wars, and there's just so
You
much
just wanted to
crime.
leave.
And for me, I was the first to leave my home to actually travel
Really?
outside of
So
Jamaica.
how did your sisters take that?
Oh my God,
Were
they were
excited?
happy.
They knew you got on the plane.
Yes, but of course, but with my sisters, they knew that I was always kind-hearted. I always buying them gifts and
So
taking
you
back.
brought
So yeah, so I brought things back for them, and they were happy. So me coming back to the Cayman Island, returning,
Right.
they were happy because they realized that somehow they would come here and
Right,
visit
right.
at some point, which
That's good.
they did.
Because
my dad.
you're the second.
I'm the second. I'm the first for my dad, but the second for my mom.
Alright.
Yes.
And with your dad and all of this, did your dad know you were coming to the Cayman Islands?
To be honest, back home in the Caribbean,
Yes.
the men always take a back seat sometimes, But after I came and settled down and everything, working with the government, I sponsored my dad. So he came and he worked with CUC and Water Authority back.
But in the
days.
first instance, he
No.
didn't know you.
No,
you
yeah,
came-
yes,
They thought, okay,
yes,
Mommy
yeah.
said, Mona
It
is
was
going
gone-
away.
Exactly, and
That's
that's it. Yeah.
That's great stuff. So again, back in Jamaica with
Five, yes.
girls.
All girls.
And you being the
Second, but it's, yeah, but first.
How was that experience being in that family? I know in Jamaica back in the days that the elder or the eldest
Right.
was required to take care of the younger. Was that the same thing in your family?
No, because my dad, my grandfather actually was I would say a politician.
Oh.
He was a part of
So you're okay.
Yeah, back in the days.
Politically exposed.
Yes, and so my granddad always take care of his children and people in the community because he would work at the parish council back then, and the U.S. government would allow, like my granddad, to give out these green cards to people who wanted to go overseas to America. So my dad actually went to America. So again, my mom is always the go-getter. My mom always in the forefront. So if my mom says something to my dad, he don't question it, because we're all girls and we are being protective as well. My parents were very protective because we have no brothers there or anything. Right. So, my mom was actually sheltered us. We weren't really exposed, but we had everything, the luxury of life, the first television, the first of this, the first of that. That's so, nice. My parents are well known within the community, in which I'm from. Yes.
And that community is
Seaford, St. Thomas. Yes, yes.
So life in Seaford, St. Thomas, I can see Mona going from, how far was church from home?
Oh, I would say maybe less than half a mile.
Less than half a mile.
Yes,
so
you
would
walk
hide lipstick in the bag.
Yes, and then we'll go. Sometimes my mom is preaching that day when we know she's preaching that Sunday. We have our friends take us to Kingston because only 45 minutes drive to the big theater, the drive-in theater at Harbor View. And by the time church was almost over, we were back. And we sneak in into the back of the church. So, we escaped. We did our little thing too. Yeah, but I'm still, very, very protective now that I have my own child. I knew any trick he would up to, but it's a good thing.
That's good to know. So growing up in Jamaica, then you
I actually went to school. Actually, I didn't even go to school in St. Thomas.
Yeah, tell me about that. You went to school. You went to Kingston.
Yes, I went to school. Yes, I didn't want to go to school in St. Thomas. I always have this foreign mind. Yes, always. I try to always live different, from my colleagues, my friends, and that's just actually where I met my girlfriend. Not in St. Thomas. I didn't go to school. I went to primary school there, but I had a tantrum on my mom and said, look, I want to go to school in Kingston.
Okay, then.
And I would come home on weekends. So they had me board out in Kingston. So I went to
stay. You go home on
weekends or sometimes. Yes, exactly. And that is why, for me, I like the cities, Yes, yes. So
that's good. And what was life like boarding in Kingston?
Well, we had like 3 or 4 other kids.
So did you live with a family or did you stay at school?
Pardon?
Did you live with your family?
No, I didn't live with my family.
No. When I said board.
Oh, the boarding school. Yeah, the boarding. Yes, we went. Yes, yes. I spent time.
And that's
Red Hills. Yes.
Okay, you lived in Red Hills.
Yes, and I went to Dunrobin High.
Okay. And that's where you met your friend from Cayman and Bermuda because they were living in the same boarding house.
That's right.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. So what was
and one of them, the one from Bermuda, she went to the same school.
So the one from Cayman, where did she go?
In the beginning, she went to not to Dunrobin. She went to Kingston High, but we're
living in the same house.
Yes, but we're just so close, And then, of course, the schools were always like rival, especially when holidays and they have sports day and all of that. Yeah.
So, how was life as a boarder? Because I know that.
Well, you have the mother. You have like a mother of the house. She was still very strict, and it was all girls, so there was not like co-ed like you have boys and girls. She was very strict.
So life as a boarder was good for you.
For me, yes, I have no bad experience.
So did you practice doing hair and
yes, I was always doing their braids, hair braiding, which was one of the most common things for hair.
So where did you pick up how to do these things from?
I tell you, to be honest, to me, I think this is something that came naturally.
Naturally?
Yes, from because no one actually taught me how to braid. That even when I came to Cayman, I was the first braider. Yes.
Wow. Oh.
Yes. In my handbag, I had a curling iron. I always have all beauty stuff, you know. I was always doing braids, and it was against the law back then. Yes, you could not braid hair back then. They looked down on you as if, yes, this is true. This
Wow.
is very true.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was a natural gift. I know people have natural abilities and gifts to do things.
Yes.
And that was a natural gift and ability for
Yeah.
you. And you wanted to develop that gift.
Gift, exactly. That's why I went to school in, beauty school as well in the US, and I always keep for my own self and for my business. I'm always traveling to learn
new things. Wow,
Yes.
that's great.
Where the beauty is concerned.
Wow, where beauty is concerned, you go after it.
Yes.
I love that.
I was always never a follower.
Mm.
I always just take the bull by the horn and just
go with
right.
it.
Yes. Yeah. Wherever it leads me, I'll follow.
Wow, that's great to know. So you said your mom, although she disapproved of you being a hairdresser, your dad didn't disapprove of it.
No.
Dad was always supportive.
He's always on board with whatever.
That is girl.
Exactly.
That is girl.
I was a little princess. I always say, even now, 4 years later, he just passed away recently, but I was always the apple of his eyes, and I knew that. So
you worked it well.
Yes. That's why I wanted him to stay here with me at some point, which he did.
That's good. That's good to know. So Mona, what would you say to young girls who find themselves in your situation where a mother is disapproving of their dream? What would you say to them?
Well,
look in the camera. Somebody. Tell somebody.
Okay.
Yeah.
My experience was a bit different back then. But now, with the world, how things are going, if you like something or you like a career, just put your mind to it, work towards it, get the best education, because that is paramount. It doesn't make sense to say, oh, I want to be a hairdresser, but you have no idea what it entails. So of course you have to know exactly that's the avenue or that's the area in which you want to. So go ahead and pursue it and do it to the best of your ability, And,
do you provide like mentorship for young girls?
Not at all. It's such a surprise. It's really a surprise that I don't, because young girls now in my field, they're not really interested.
Do you find that they're not interested because maybe they don't have a owner to teach them?
I cannot really answer that question, to be honest, because I remember back in the days once I started having my own business, that's almost 30 years ago, and I would have young girls come over to sit, and they'll just do it 1 minute and then they're gone.
Because maybe like you, it's not a gift for them, but maybe it was something that they're trying to find themselves.
But Ingrid, it's something that you have to love. Because each person that comes into your circle, you have to treat them different. They come with different things. You have to know the art and the science. It's not just doing hairdressing, and that's the thing. And with even my mom, she thought that I just wanted to play. It's like a dolly house, and there's no money in it. But that has gone way to the top of the scale. Hairstylist is no longer a hairdresser. People have to stop saying that we are a hairdresser. It's much more than that, and you just want to make that person feel beautiful. Bring that beauty out, and so it's not, some people would say, yes, it's a job. For me, it's not a job. It allowed me to meet different type of people. My clientele is really high profile, but that doesn't say that I don't work for the small man or the small person that comes through my door. I treat everybody on the same level.
So for you, it's a calling, it's a purpose, it's a passion.
Yes.
And for those out there who believe that their calling and their purpose is in the beauty field, I am going to put you on the spot right now and have you commit to those who are out there who want to learn the art and science of making people beautiful, that you will mentor them.
They have to come and know that when they come into my shop, and to get the proper teaching and the knowledge, it's going to be a hard one. They have to make up their mind. They have to be disciplined. It's not about the quick money. You understand? It's much more. It's much deeper. because each individual that you're going to work on or do something for that is going to be creative, you have to have that creative juice
Wow.
flowing.
Wow.
That when you finish, you say, wow,
Wow.
did I do this? And make sure that client, before they step out through the door, they have that smile on the face.
Yeah.
You put that confidence back into them, make the light up,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Mona, money, Lisa. If mommy were here, no.
Yeah.
If mommy were here, no. But I'm happy that mommy got to see that Mona Lisa really became her own. She lived her dream, and you were able to care for your mom up to the time of her passing. That the dream that you dreamt as a child became a reality, and it paid off. It paid off. And I'm glad she was able
to recognize. Yes. She did in the end.
And I'm glad. I'm glad. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mona Lisa followed her dream in spite of the disapproval of a mother, in spite of having to forge her mother's signature in order to expose herself to bigger things and greater things. Today, she sits here in her hair den, the creator of her own products, and one who wants to give back. But as you heard from her, you have to have a make-up mind. You have to have the discipline. You have to have passion to follow your dream. So a dream, ladies and gentlemen, is not something that you say, "Oh, I want to be that."
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work like that. You have to have it's a gut feeling. It comes from deep down in the core. And it comes out. It's like giving birth.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a cocoon, butterfly. You go out and you just spread your wings and just be grateful for what you have gotten in the hand.
So you heard it from Mona. If you want more and you want to learn more about making people beautiful, Mona Lisa will share her contact details, and you can touch base with her. If you don't want to make people beautiful, but you want to be beautiful, exactly. Mona Lisa is a girl. Yeah. She will do what she does best, transform you. Ladies and gentlemen, until the next episode, we want to thank you again for joining us. We want to say how truly grateful we are that you have taken the time out of your busy schedule to listen to this phenomenal woman tell the first part of her story, because 3 more parts to come. So join us again next week when we visit Mona's journey from Jamaica, settling in Cayman, and the pain that she had to go through to give birth to her purpose. So until next time, remember, if you like this video, please let us know by clicking that like button, subscribing, and sharing with others, because people need to hear each other's stories so we can be inspired and we can be encouraged to know that if Mona did it, so
he's easy breezy.
Easy breezy. So until next time, thank you again for joining us. Until then, let's get loud.